Hello, I'm Chucky J, and it's time to open some Frozen Throne packs. It's time for the new Hearthstone expansion, and I went ahead and got the 50 packs, plus I have some extras. I spent 700 of my gold, and got some from the quests. So this is one of the important cards in the expansion. It's actually a good card for Warlock, which they've been needing, especially in Arena. This is a big deal. Put one of each secret from your deck into the battlefield. So, Paladin had a card like this. I believe it's rotated into Wild now. But since Mage Secrets are more expensive, it makes sense for the ability to do this to be more expensive. That's why it's 8 mana. So you're getting 9... Well, if you put 3 secrets in, if this successfully pulls out 3 secrets, then you're getting 9 mana worth of secrets for 8. Lifesteal is one of the new features of this expansion. There were a couple of cards that had that capability before, but it wasn't called Lifesteal. Now it's a thing in the expansion. So there's some Lifesteal cards. There we go. This is a really interesting one. Priest card, shuffle a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck. So if you get this, so on turn 7, let's say you get this and play it, then you'll get approximately 23 additional cards into your deck, and it'd be basically impossible for your opponent to fatigue you. Question is, how good is that going to work out? If you get a bunch of their synergies into your deck and it all works out, then it may really be awesome. But you could also see it going poorly, where it then dilutes your deck, so you can't get your good cards. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Bone Mare, I've been listening to Grinning Goat. This is probably the most important card in the expansion because it is a common and a neutral, and it's part of this expansion. So right now in Arena, you will get this offered a significant amount, and the fact that it buffs and taunts a minion on the board is just huge. So Bear Shark is going to be interesting. I'm really hoping I get a Death Knight. Even if I don't, they're giving one if you beat the first part of the little story that they've released, the adventure. Let's stop and take a look here. Snow Flipper Penguin, it's interesting that it's marked as a beast. So we had Wisp before that was a 0 mana 1/1. It didn't get played a lot, but it was there. The fact that this is a beast makes it more interesting, especially for hunters. So, Battlecry, summon 2 skeletons, so that's 4/6 worth of stats for 4, and spread out among 3 different bodies. That's cool. Trump's opinion is that this isn't going to get played much. That's probably true. Gain +1/+1 for each damaged minion. So Whirlwind or the new Warrior Heroes hero power, the Death Knight Warriors hero power, will play a big role in this. And of course, Warriors have other ways to damage minions, their own and opponents. And freeze any character damaged by this minion. Apparently they're trying to do freeze Shaman. I don't know how successful that will be. Problem is, at least for me, the only real legendaries I got from Ungoro were the ones for Elemental Shaman and the ones for the quest. So for Murloc Shaman. So I have 2 decks for that, and I don't think I'm going to be doing free Shaman. I played way too much Shaman. For the little bit of Hearthstone that I play, I've played way too much Shaman. We'll stop every pack or every 2 packs and talk about the cards. I'm going to talk about all of them because I'm not an expert. As a non-expert, don't listen to me too much about the individual cards. I'm just repeating what I've heard. But these concepts are starting to make sense to me, which is a good thing. Charge and lifesteal. I don't know. We're going to have to see how this works out. Lifesteal again. Devour Mind. Copy 3 cards in your opponent's deck and add them to your hand. So again, Priest is getting this mechanic that was mostly for rogues. They did have like, gosh, now I can't remember what the cards are called. They had some low mana cards, Priest did, that would like give you cards from your opponent's class or from your opponent's deck. Shadow Visions or something like that. Yeah. So it's not completely new to the Priest. Bear Shark again. Epic! Furnace Fire Colossus. Battlecry. Discard all your weapons from your hand and gain their stats. So, say you're a warrior, you discard your Fiery Wind Axe. Then you get 8 attack and 9 health. Yeah. On a 6 mana. But you lose the weapon. Happy Ghoul is an interesting one, so priests in particular, other classes that have lots of heals might find that interesting. Again, freeze an enemy. Shuffle a copy of your hand into your deck. Could be good, depending. Could be good. Yay! Alright, the Druid. The Druid Death Knight. So Malfurion becomes a Death Knight. You play this card, the hero changes, you get 5 armor, which is not a big deal, but it's something. Then you do one or both of the, you do one of these things. If you happen to have, what's his name, Fandral, then you get both. And your hero power changes to choose one of either gain 3 armor or gain 3 attack. Gonna be interesting. I'm glad I have that. So that's my first Death Knight. Spirit Lash. Like a whirlwind, but you lifesteal from it. Golden This is like a mini mechanic that appears on a couple cards, as you can see here. Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 ghoul. So you want this to stay on the board, preferably to taunt you. Preferably you want to taunt it, so that they will be forced to kill it, and then you get a 2/2 off of it. So that's 5/3 for 3. But if it doesn't, then it's just a 3/1 for 3, which is not that interesting. This guy, anytime it survives damage. So, could be whirlwind or whatever, any kind of damage, as long as it survives. So, let's say you just do one damage each time, then you'd get 3 2/2 ghouls off of this. Your opponent will probably kill it by then. I'll definitely be adding this to my Murloc deck. Give your taunt minions +2/+2. That will help. I've already faced. I was actually playing on my phone. I've already faced the Druid Death Knight, and it seemed like the guy had. I don't know if he had this card or used this card, but it seemed like he had a taunt Druid setup. Snow Fury Giant. This is going to be interesting too. So this will be great in my Elemental Shaman, but I don't have a lot of overload. Do I? Maybe I have just enough to bring it down. So maybe you put this in instead of some of your other elementals, and then add some overload cards that you don't already have. Like you probably have Lightning Storm, that's good, but you probably need more than that. So a 1/1 Murloc with Lifesteal. So Lifesteal heals you, heals the hero. Golden Epic. Your Death Rattle cards cost 2 less, so hunters have some really good Death Rattle cards. Ultimate Infestation was the card that Trump revealed, and this thing is insane. Like, I really can't, assuming you have it, I can't imagine not running it in basically any Druid deck. 5 damage, draw 5 cards, gain 5 armor, summon a 5/5 ghoul. It does everything. Now, I mean, maybe drawing 5 cards would put you closer to fatigue, or it would mean that you couldn't play it later on because you draw those 5 cards and it does damage to you. But other than that, there's basically no downside. Golden Epic! Rare! Dokari Enchanter, your end of turn effects trigger twice. There are a few of those in the game, but the biggest one is the Lich King in this expansion is a legendary, and at the end of the turn he gives you a Death Knight card, which is a very powerful spell, essentially. There's another Dokari Enchanter. I want to get either Arthas or Arthas. Arthas is Arthas's dog, which I'm sure doesn't really exist in World of Warcraft. There's a lot of things now being made specially for this game. Frozen Clone. After your opponent plays a minion, add 2 copies of it to your hand. Could be interesting. Definitely could be interesting. It's gonna make playing against mages a little more difficult, I think. Add a mirror image spell to your hand. I don't know if I like that. I mean, if you really need spells, like that might actually be good for the Mage Quest. Summon a 5/5 copy of a random minion in your deck. That could be cool. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. It's just too easy for it to get pinged. I don't know. Two epics and a golden rare. Simulacrum. Copy the lowest cost minion in your hand. So if you have some high cost minions in your hand, this could be really good. Treachery is a really interesting one. Choose a friendly minion and give it to your opponent. So it has a negative death rattle or some other negative effect. Give it to your opponent, you know? And there are some cards like that for Warlock. So yeah, they're trying to make Divine Shield Paladin a possibility. It might be. We shall see.
Golden coming.
Golden Bear Shark. Runeforge Haunter. During your turn, your weapon doesn't lose durability. Might be good. Mindbreaker. Hero powers are disabled. Maybe you put one of those in a warrior deck. You start to not care too much about your hero power. Another Snow Fury, that's good. Looks like I'll be playing more Shaman. Another copy of Ice Fishing. Okay. Blackguard. Whenever your hero is healed, deal that much damage to a random enemy minion. Okay, so not to face. And this thing has 9 health, so it's going to be hard to get rid of. Okay, cool. Looks like Muse just got Malfurion also. Okay, another Shadow Blade and Murabi. Forget what Murabi is.
Golden coming.
Alright, okay. Give your taunt minions +2/+2. Okay. Icebreaker. Destroy any frozen minion damaged by this. Okay. So you're a shaman. You're doing this whole freeze shaman thing. And hitting it with this 1 damage weapon, if it's frozen, will kill it. Freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to adjacent ones. So, again, trying to get the freeze shaman going. Oh ho ho! Arthas! So that's Arthas, the Lich King's dog. So 2/2 for 4 is not good, but these Death Knight cards are really good, so it should be worth it. And he's a legendary, so interesting. Okay. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. So it could be a small one. It could be the penguin. You know, but it could be Sylvana Highmane. Savannah Highmane. So trigger a friendly minion's death rattle. So play this. Play this. No. You wouldn't do that. Maybe you would, actually. Oh, Prince Kalaseth. Okay, so this is another, like, mini, not really a mechanic. So there are these legendaries, I think they're all legendaries, that are not if you have no duplicates, but if the rest of your deck, whatever's left of your deck, has no 2-cost cards, then give all the minions in your deck +1/+1. So it doesn't mean you can't have 2-cost cards, it's that you have to have already drawn them by this point, because he's a 2. And so I think there's a 1-cost card, a 3-cost card. There's a few of these that have some sort of mechanic like this. They give you some benefit. So that's going to be really interesting. I definitely can't do that in Murloc, because there's a lot of 2-mana Murlocs. Probably not an elemental either, unless I can magically replace the 2-drops with something else. I don't know. Maybe my Taunt Druid could do that. So let's see here. Yeah, we have 4 legendaries and 13 epics so far. Make that 14. Or no, maybe it counted this one already. Another ultimate infestation. Alright, we gotta do Taunt Druid then. And for my first try, I'm going to attempt to not look at deck lists. Then after I try these decks for a while, then I might do that. I didn't use my dust from Ungoro, so I still could try and get a interesting quest, or more likely try and get one of these cool Death Knights with my dust. So I could probably get a couple Death Knights. Taunt and summon. Battlecry, summon a copy of this minion. So in buff, like buff Paladin, something like that, this could be really good. Could be interesting at least. I don't want to say good. So at the very least, you're getting 2 2/3s for 4 with Taunt. Mountain Fire armor. If it's your opponent's turn, gain 6 armor. So if you can get your opponent to kill it instead of you using it to kill something else, then you get 6 armor. Eternal Servitude. Discover a friendly minion that died this game and summon it. So could be something small, could be something big, because it's totally random. But you get to discover. So it's going to pop up 3 minions that died this game. Up to 3. Let's put it that way, because I've seen discover only pop up 2 things. So discover a friendly minion that died this game and summon it. That could be interesting for sure. There we go. Okay, Happy Ghoul, Shadow Blade. Doomed Apprentice. Your opponent's spells cost 1 more. Okay, Corpse Taker. So if what's left in your deck has taunt, so it has to start with taunt, I guess, or no, it could be anything. If your deck has a taunt minion, then this thing gets taunt. If your deck has a divine shield minion, then it gets divine shield, etc. So it could be very, very powerful, and it's for all classes. Now, are you going to have all 4 of those or enough of those in your deck to make it worthwhile? I don't know. 2 animated berserkers just in 1 pack. Devour Mind, copy 3 card. Yep, we already talked about that one. Last one. Okay. So, is that right? 4 legendaries, 14 epic, 68 rare, and 234 commons. That's probably right, out of 64 packs. Nice. Well, that's gotta be my best legendary pool. And I actually got good legendaries. Maybe not the best, I don't know. But let's just say I didn't get Mayor Noggenfogger. That's for sure. Ugh. Okay. So I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late. Had a long day. But I do want to go see it opened up to Druid like it knew. I do want to kind of take a look here. So let's start new deck. Let's see if it will give us a deck recipe. Pestilence. What is Pestilence? Do I even have what's his face? I think we're gonna have to do custom. Vandrel? I do. Is that because what is he? Whispers of the Old Gods. Okay. I thought he might have been from an adventure. Okay, that's great. So Fandral and well, let's just type legendary. Or Malfurion. Then let's see our choose. This Fandral's not going to stay on the board all that long. Wrath is just a good card anyway. Probably Power of the Wild as far as spells. And Let's say Druid of the Claw. Is that really all the choose cards that I have? Druid of the Swarm. Only got one? Yeah, I'm not making another. Sorry. Oh, because that's gold. That's why it's 800. Yeah, I don't want another 800. I could make a regular one for 400. But, okay. So, then we go maybe Taunt. Yeah, let's do Spreading Plague. I only have one. Give your taunt minions +2/+2, sure. After you summon a minion, gain +1 health. Let's try a couple of those. Iron Bark. Jade Behemoth. Maybe not. Okay, so taunts over here. Let's do one gastropod. Two tar creepers. They're just two stone hills. See, I don't think this is worth it unless I end up adding Lifesteal and Wind Fury, which I might. I don't want too much taunt. I just want enough taunt to protect myself. A-bomb, maybe? Second rate bruiser, nesting rock, Sunwalker. Two bone mares. I'm running out of space. Alright, so what else do we want that's just good? Do we want to innervate? Probably. And let's do one innervate and one wild growth. Barrel rage? Maybe? Swipe. Okay, I think I got too much taunt in here, but these guys are flexible. This could be charge. He's not taunt unless I have the right stuff. Tar Creeper. I think we leave that stuff. Power of the Wild's good. This might be a taunt, might not be. Maybe take out the Sunwalker. Yeah, let's take out the Sunwalker. So I don't know all that much about Druid. Put in a Moonglade? Ancient of Lore. Oh, forgot the Ultimate Infestation. Oh man. I may not get that far, so is running 2 really worth it? What's my curve here? Probably need another 4. Maybe take out the gastropod. Go to the 4s. Oh, Arphis. Yeah. Let's just run a whole bunch of legendaries. Oh man. Do I want to change out anything else? check the rest of the cards here. Who's actually gonna... I'm sure there's a reason for this, but no. Let's take out one nesting rock and put a fire plume in. Because the real point of all these taunts is we can give our minions +1/+1 with Power of the Wild. Or what's that other card? We have Bone Mare, but that turns it into a taunt. Strong Shell Scavenger. So we're kind of building this deck around the Strong Shell Scavenger. And Malfurion just being interesting and probably awesome. So, probably a terrible deck, but I'm going to try it out tomorrow. So that's it for right now. Thanks for watching.